That is crooked. Hello everyone. So today we are going to talk about, because, well, I don't know exactly when you'll be watching this, probably Tuesday. I'll probably post on Tuesday. It's Sunday right now, but probably Tuesday, because Monday and Tuesday is supposed to be really nice. So the ponds are probably going to thaw a little bit. Might get some thaw, might get a couple days in before we get another cold front coming. But so I'm going to talk to you guys about what to throw when the water starts thawing out. It's cold, but it's slowly climbing. That kind of pre-spawned or whatever. Because yeah, you can use this once we start getting into spring and it's fully, it ain't gonna freeze again. But it's still cold and, gonna be slowly warming up from then. But these are the things that I use. I'll tell you why, how they work, where to throw them, all that fun stuff. First, should be no surprise to anyone that knows my channel and knows me. Football jig. So, football jig, black and blue all the time, even if the water's clear right now, because those crawfish are bluish color. People, okay, black and blue works. They have that bluish color, or the like brown and blue, or green pumpkin and blue colors. Those really work really well, because that is the color they are right now. And the trailer, I like to go with like that black and blue craw, or this is a Missile Baits D-bomb that is in the copper chopper color, they call it, which is like a green pumpkin with blue hint into it. Really crushes it. Edge of weed lines in those deeper spots, cast them out, drag it slowly. You don't want to do crazy erratic movements. You want to drag it slowly, let it sit, let it just sit there. Drag it again, like let it sit a while until you can't take it anymore, and then drag it again a whole nother length. Reel in that slack, let it sit. You should get spiked. But as far as trailers go, the D-bomb, like I said, from Missile Baits, has a little bit of a flap in action, a little bit kind of erratic, but it's really actually pretty subtle, and it's really good. Actually, here's that just by itself. Chop it down, of course, so it's because these are pretty big, they'll hang pretty low. You don't want to hang in that low. Another one, just a beaver bait. This is the blue craw color from Strike King. It's just green pumpkin with a little bit of blue in it. So that color is awesome. But yeah, beaver bait, very subtle action on them. Another one that's really good are these Doomsday Tackle, like Doomsday Craws. These actually don't flap all that crazy. They got a little bit of kick to them, but it's actually pretty mellow. These are really good in the cold water situations. And they're small, you don't gotta clip them. Perfect for that jig. Yeah, don't really want to use craws too much. It's just a little bit too much of an action. You can, and I do sometimes still, but that big flap is just a little bit too much. The bass don't want to seem like something's, well, number one, crawfish aren't going to be sitting there flapping in real life and being all crazy and moving fast. They're cold. They're going to be kind of just mellow and methodic, just like the bass are. The bass aren't going to want to chase something that's all looks like it's going to give them a workout. They don't want to do that right now when it's cold. So probably just stay away from those. I don't use them at this point, but alright, so that is your football jig. Next is even slower, a Ned rig. Ned rig is pretty much a dead stick bait, in all honesty. Yeah, you can fish it other times, different ways and stuff like that, drag it and pop it around and stuff. But in the cold, pretty much a dead stick bait. Cast it out, let it hit bottom. It's just sitting there, subtly, you know. Let it sit until you can't take it anymore. Pop it up a couple times. I'll just kind of flutter, back down. If a bass is keying on it, when you do those little flutters, I'd probably hit it then. But a lot of times, they'll just hit it when it's just sitting there, because they're just sitting there watching it. It's not moving. It's easy meal. They want that, like I said. This is like the blue craw color from Z-Man. Love these elastic, by the way. That's really cool. But I don't know. Not a giant fan of those actually, but just a good, you know, brown color, green pumpkin color, you know, whatever. Water's darker, yeah, maybe go to a black and blue, that sort of thing. Just take a good old Senko, pinch down 2.5, 3 inches, put that sucker on, your money. Alright, now we'll start getting a little bit faster. Jerkbait. Everyone knows jerkbaits are a cold water tactic. Well, not strictly, but they are pretty much known for throwing in cold water. You want a deeper suspending jerkbait. You do not want a floating jerkbait. You want it deeper and pretty dang deep, so it will sit there and suspend off the bottom, but in those deeper channels and like that, or at the edge of rock dams. They work really well. And areas like that, you want them to get down in there and be floating in that section. This is a sexy shad color. Yeah, jerkbaits, you know, are known as a clear water bait as well. They can work in dirtier water. You just gotta have the right color for it, and just be very subtle. This is just a pop. You let it sit at least 10 seconds to start. Sit there and count, and get nothing. Maybe a pop, or pop. Let it sit another 10 seconds, or even extend it 15 seconds, 20 seconds. Let it sit there. You have to do that right now. When it's cold, you gotta fish it slow. You can't sit there and, you know, pop, you know, that how freaking like people fish jerkbaits when it's warmer. Just slow, couple pops, let it sit a long time. Pop, you know, and change it up to 2 pops, and maybe a pop, and maybe 3 pops. Don't go more than that. Yeah, but let it sit a long time. Jerkbait, and just, yeah, match the hatch. You know that. I think I have a bluegill one and actually hooked on right now that I love. Alright, next, you're going to say, what? Spinnerbait. Now, on those nice, sunny, bright, sunny days right now, when the sun is hitting rock dams, it's hitting those rocks. Those rocks are like the warmest part of the water. So the bait fish come up on them to warm up. The bass do the same thing, come up there, enjoy the sun, enjoy the warmth, sitting there on those warm rocks, running a spinnerbait along those rocks, bouncing it off those rocks is deadly. Just slow roll it, bouncing them off the rocks. It works. The bass are sitting there warming up. They're getting a little jazzed up, enjoying the warmth. That works. So that's a big one. Spinnerbait along the rocks. Now, last one, and not this color. This was just the only color I could find offhand really quick. Yeah, don't go with the red color. Crawfish, I'll just say this. Crawfish, I know a lot of people are always like, yeah, they're red for, you know, if you're trying to mimic crawfish and stuff. No, not really. The only time crawfish are really red are like a day or two after the full moon, and it lasts a couple days or whatever. But they spawn on full moons. Then after they spawn, the male goes under rocks, molts, comes out red. It's really the only time they're red. Alright? At least here in Colorado. So that is when you're going to be wanting to throw red ones. Red doesn't always imitate crawfish too much. There you go. You learned something else that I wasn't even planning on learning the other day. But now this is the only color I can find offhand. I love the bluegill Strike King, you know, lipless, the good old shad ones, all the red eyes, shad colors, match whatever your main food source is. And this, throw it out there, let it hit the bottom. The great things about these is you can cover water and you can fish them at any depth. But especially right now, I like to cast it out, let it fall all the way to the bottom, and slowly roll it back in as slow as I can get away with, where it's right over the bottom. Just keep it slow. Do that, you know, if it ain't happening, maybe you can go a little bit faster, but I don't like to go too fast. Just kind of stay on the bottom or a little bit above the bottom. And that's the great thing about these. Cover a lot of water. They really imitate a dying fish a lot. So in cold water, a lot of bait fish are always dying. That's why they really excel like early winter before the freeze, when fish are starting to die off. But they still excel in the late winter when we're starting to get in the spring too. Cold water, that's why they excel in them. But there you go. That is it. Those are the 5 that I will always have tied on in the early season. So hope that helps you. Hope you can get out there, use these, get you some more fish in a very difficult time of fishing. It works. So thanks, guys. Click on my logo in the upper left hand corner to subscribe. In the upper right hand corner is the last video I made. In the lower right hand corner there's a video I know you'll enjoy. And make sure to hit that like button down below as well.